Hello, welcome back to Flesh and Blood Brothers. This is Tommy. I'm here to start a new series all about the Dragons of Rathe. So this will be part one, and you can see here from the main image that we're talking about Yendurai today. Who are these Dragons of Rathe? According to Cromai's lore, she's summoning these illusionary dragons that are embodying dragons of old. Whether or not they still exist is kind of still up for debate. We haven't seen them in the story yet, for certain. But the original dragon seems to be the Draconic Aesir that our Emperor is tied to. He's the Dracai of Aesir. So maybe he draws his power directly from that original Draconic Aesir dragon. But that being has three kind of immediate subservants, and that's Dracona Optimai, Tomeltai, and Dominia. So the best I can kind of tell from the lore, this class of being that's like directly under an Aesir is the Embra. Another example of an Embra is Ursur, Chain's best friend, who is the Embra of the Shadow. So whatever the Shadow Aesir is, whatever the old one being that the Aesir is that gives direct power to all those talented shadow beings in our world here, has a disciple named Ursur, whatever this demon guy is. Now, of course, Ursur would also have like little sub beings. So the Draconic Embra, those three main dragons, have these little 9 offshoot dragons. Maybe there's more dragons out there. Certainly, we know the world is bigger than just this like Rathene continent, but that's all to figure out on another day, certainly. But all across the map of Rathe, we have dragons all over the place, which is really fun. 9, 12 dragons in total right now, plus the Draconic Aesir that certainly we'll probably never see on a card, but will be impactful to the lore, certainly going forward. So today's video, for part one, we're diving into the Savage Lands. Just as a heads up, I'm also writing a D&D 5e compatible adventure set in the Savage Lands to go along with a series of subclasses and a way to incorporate talents into the system that I've been fiddling with for a while. Still working out a lot of kinks, but looking to do some kind of like live play series early next year with members of the Flesh and Blood community. So if you're interested, let me know. I'm going to write the campaign, but I don't necessarily have to be the DM. If other people want to DM, I can just kind of help run the show behind the scenes and assist the DM. But let me know if you're interested. So let's dive in. All right, Yendurai of the Savage Lands, Dragon of Endurance, said to be rooted deep within the Savage Lands. So if you're like me, you're wondering, why they choose these specific mechanics for Yendurai. LSS is incredible at feeding in lore, mechanics, and feel and theme to their gameplay. So when we think about the Savage Lands, there's a few cards that we think of. And I'm not talking about the Brute class, specifically like Rhinar focused cards. I'm talking about some other things. So why Endurance? Love these little critters from the art of the Savage Lands here. But we think of things like Wounded Bull, right? The vitality of the Savage Lands. So all these Fyendal connected cards that if you have less health or if you meet a different condition, you gain health. These are all cards centralized around Fyendal, which seems to be somehow connected to the Savage Lands, which is interesting. We also have these cards, Adrenaline Rush, Wounded Bull, very similar idea mechanically. If you have less health, this attack is stronger, right? And we also have, at least in my opinion, one of each of the Everfest items connected to various other places around Rathe. So Healing Potion is the one that I tie to the Savage Lands. The little environment within on the picture doesn't necessarily scream Savage Lands. It kind of just looks like Aria. But this idea that from the lore book originally, the Savage Lands is host to all kinds of like herbs and plants that can be turned into powerful potions and medicines for healing a variety of issues, I think feeds into my theory being true. So Yendurai, healing potion. This is the dragon of the Savage Lands, maybe the item of the Savage Lands. Whether or not Yendurai exists truly still to our contemporary timeline in the lore is kind of yet to be seen. But now we know kind of why he has this endurance counter, right? So 3 attack, 3 health, but the first time it's dealt damage, you remove that endurance counter to prevent 3 of the damage. So pretty cool effect, pretty cool thematically when you think about the Savage Lands. I really enjoy it personally. Now, I'm going to be doing this series on the rest of these dragons here, and this is also like a little visual for us to see how things kind of shake out. This is kind of like a family tree of the dragons, right? And so we have this Draconic Aesir at the very top, leads to his 3 Embra dragons, that leads to, again, the dragons of lore from around Rathe. It's also so cool, just the illusionist class that can just conjure up these beings from the lore and mythology of where they're from. You can imagine growing up in Volcor, hearing stories of these ancient dragons, and then, you're a little peasant boy dragged into a war, and Dromai is just conjuring these tangible, almost tangible illusions, is kind of how it's described in Prism's lore, of these dragons of old. It's that would truly be a knee-shaking, piss in your boots moment for sure. So I hope you're enjoying maybe a little bit of a different kind of take, a quick take into the lore and the whys of how lore is connected to the gameplay and mechanics. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this. I'm going to try to keep them short. If you have a specific dragon you'd like to see next, let me know. I'm going to start building out some visuals for it, and hope to make a lot more videos for you guys soon. Thanks, and don't forget, like and subscribe.